This video looks at the scientifically identified dangers of living in a poorly heated home. It also considers the safest indoor temperature and is your home too cold or too warm? What's the best temperature for your breathing, circulation and mental well-being? There is a strong link between housing and health as identified by the World Health Organization in its Housing and Health Guidelines document. Let's start with the lungs and respiratory system. Cold air can inflame the lungs and increase the risk of respiratory infection. Conditions such as asthma can worsen, with more asthma attacks likely if the air is cold inside your home. A cold house can also worsen other respiratory conditions such as COPD and increase the risk of pneumonia. The heart and circulatory system are also adversely affected by a cold home. Cold air inside the home induces vasoconstriction, which is the tightening and narrowing of your blood vessels. This causes an increase in blood pressure. An increase in blood pressure brings with it a higher risk of stroke and heart attack. With the constriction of the blood vessels, there's also a reduction of plasma fluid, and as a result, there's an increased risk of arterial thrombosis, commonly known as a blood clot. So, what temperature should your home be? 18 degrees Celsius or 64 degrees Fahrenheit is the most widely reported and generally agreed health supporting home temperature. A temperature of 19 to 21 degrees Celsius or 66 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit is recommended for daytime occupied rooms. 18 degrees Celsius or 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit is an ideal bedroom temperature. So how cold is too cold? According to the Centre for Sustainable Energy in the UK, if your home is below 13 degrees Celsius or 55.4 degrees Fahrenheit, there is an increased risk of your blood pressure raising and an increased risk of cardiovascular problems. If your home is between 14 to 15 degrees Celsius or 57 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit, you may be diminishing your resistance to respiratory infections. It's also important to note that temperatures above 24 to 27 degrees Celsius are not recommended and can put babies and young children at risk, as well as the elderly. Comment below if you've had any experiences of dealing with a cold home or any solutions that other viewers may find helpful. Before we finish, a quick comment on damp and mould. Reducing exposure to damp and mould is also important and would prevent or reduce a large proportion of asthma attacks among adolescents and adults. The most important point to remember from this video is that a minimum temperature of 18 degrees Celsius or 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit is widely accepted as the minimum necessary temperature inside your home to protect your health.